Hello everyone, this is Dr. Lennon, and I just wanted to go over a couple of these homework questions, just so everyone's on clear everything up if anyone was having any difficulties. So why don't we jump right in? We'll go through about 4 or 5 of them. Probably the word problems at the end are giving the most problems, but let's review at least one of the elimination method and one of the substitution as well. So for number 3 right here, we have the system of equations 3x minus 2y equals negative 22, and we have minus 9x plus 8y equals 76. So what I want to do is I want to keep this top one the same, and I want to multiply the bottom equation by I want to keep the bottom equation the same and multiply the top by 3 to eliminate my x's. So let's keep that bottom equation the same, and let's multiply the top by 3. So then we have 9x minus 6y equals minus 66, and on bottom we have minus 9x plus 8y equals 76. So then when you add them together, we end up with 2y equals 10. We divide by 2, we get y equals 5, and then plug that into one of the original equations. Let's plug it into the top one. We end up with 3x minus 2 times 5 equals negative 22. So 3x minus 10 equals negative 22. We add 10 to both sides and get 3x equals minus 12. And dividing by 3 leaves us with x equals negative 4. So our solution for this problem is negative 4 comma 5. And we just enter it in that format, negative 4 comma 5. And you can submit the answer. And hopefully everything went okay. Yeah, we got the green check mark, so we did all right. Let's go down and do one of the substitution method problems. Let's do number 8 here. So number 8, we have 2x plus y equals 9, and x plus 2y equals 3. It's pretty easy to substitute either one here. I'm going to solve the bottom equation for x, so x will equal negative 2y plus 3, just subtracting 2y on both sides, and then we plug that into the top equation. So we do 2, then replace x by minus 2y plus 3 in parentheses, plus the y equals 9, and multiply out. So we get minus 4y plus 6 plus y equals 9. Negative 4y plus y is minus 3y. And then we also want to subtract our 6, so we get minus 3y equals 3, which means y is going to equal 1, negative 1 when you divide by negative 3. So y equals minus 1. And then we know x is negative 2y plus 3, so that means x is negative 2 times negative 1 plus 3, so x comes out to be 5. So our answer for this problem is negative 5 comma negative 1. So let's go ahead and check that. So we get 5 comma minus 1. Submit the answer to check there. And we're all set. For these graphical problems, they just want you to find the point of intersection. So it looks like negative 3 for x and 1 for y. Simple as that. So this should be negative 3 comma 1. And that's it. So let's get to some of the more interesting points. Let's go down and start looking at the word problems. So wait, I just want to look at one other point because so this one looks like 11 looks like it's going to be no solution. Let me see about 12 here, because I know it was giving someone some problems. So if we multiply by 3 and by 2. Yeah, so this one I think is funny. It says if there's an infinite number of solutions, enter the general solution in terms of x. So let's look at number 12 also. So number 12 here, it's basically both lines represent the same equation, right? So we get 6x plus 4y equals 12, and 9x plus 6y equals 18. So this is the system of equations. So if you multiply this equation by 3 and this equation by 2, you'll notice that actually it's really the same equation. So it would come out to 18x plus 12y equals 36, and we would get the same thing down here. 18x plus 12y equals 36. So what they really want you to do is they want you to take one of these equations and solve for x. So if I take the original equation, 6x plus 4y equals 12, and I try to solve for x, what should I want to solve for y, excuse me. Solve for y like you normally would for a line. So I subtract 6x on both sides, and we get 4y equals minus 6x plus 12. And then I want to divide both sides by 4, and then I'll have y, and then negative 6 over 4 is negative 3 over 2, so negative 3 over 2x, and 12 divided by 4 is 3. So this is the general, what the y-coordinate would look like. So we could say our general solution is x, comma, negative 3 over 2x plus 3. And I believe that's what they want you to enter for this problem. Usually I would just say all real solutions would suffice, but they say enter the general solution in terms of x, which is why we're getting this issue here. So negative 3 over 2x plus 3, and hopefully everything comes out okay. So we got the check mark, so that was the problem there. So let's look at a couple of these problems, these word problems at the end. We'll go through 2 of them. How about the last 2? So essentially what happens is these word problems will reduce 2 systems of equations. That's why they're in this section. So if we look at 15, we've got a gas station that sells regular gas at one price and premium gas for another price. So at the end of a business day, 260 gallons were sold and the receipts were 673. So how many of each type were used? So let's just start with variables, saying which one. So x will be the number of gallons of regular, which is at $2.30, and y will be the number of gallons of the premium, which is at $3.05. So we have 2 equations. We have the equation that represents the total amount sold. So if you take the number of gallons of each one sold together, they sold 260 gallons. Then you actually have the cost equation, which is the cost of each. So the cost would be $2.30 times each gallon of X plus $3.05 times each gallon of Y, and that should equal the total receipts, which were $673. So this is where our system of equations comes from. So then you just need to solve this. So why don't I make the screen bigger for just a moment while we go ahead and solve it. Probably it's easiest just to use substitution here. So X could be, say, negative Y plus 260. And then we can plug that into the bottom equation here. So we'll get 2.3 times negative Y plus 260 plus 305Y, and that equals 673. So let's go ahead and multiply through. So negative 2.3y plus, let's go ahead and make sure we do this right and open up the calculator. So on the old calculator, we get 2.3 times 260. Sorry, it's opening a little slow here. Here we go, 2.3 times 260. We get 598, so plus 598, plus our 305y, that equals 673. So, so let's do the 305 minus the 2.3. That gives us 0.75, so we get 0.75y plus 598 equals 673. And it looks like the numbers are going to come out quite nice. So when we subtract 598, we'll be left with 75. So 0.75y equals 75. And so when you divide by 0.75, we get y is 100. So y is 100 gallons. We know x plus y is 260, so x is negative 100 plus 260, which is 160. So we had 160 gallons of regular and 100 gallons of premium. So 160 regular and 100 premium. So got that one correct. So let's do one more. Let's go down to problem number 16 here. So number 16, we're making a blended coffee to sell. So we've got 2 Kenyan at $3.50 a pound. So K will be the number of pounds at $3.50. And the Sri Lankan, we'll call that S. We'll call that the number of pounds, and that's at $5.60. So same deal here. We have a volume equation and a cost equation. So if you add them together, K plus S is equal to 4 pounds, and the cost of them totals $17.15. So 3.5 times K plus 5.6 times S is equal to the $17.15. So why don't we do this one by elimination? So let's go ahead and keep the top. Let's multiply the top equation by, say, -7. And we'll multiply the bottom equation by 2. So we get -7K minus 7S equals -28. And then on the bottom we'll have 7K plus 11.2S, and that'll equal 34.3. So when we add them together, we get 4.2S is equal to 6.3, and then we want to divide both sides by 4.2. So let's go ahead and put that into the calculator. Usually these come out nice, so I'm wondering if I made an arithmetic mistake somewhere. But no, it comes out okay. So that's S comes out to 1.5 pounds. And then we know K plus S equals 4. So K plus 1.5 equals 4. So when you subtract, K is equal to 2.5. So we have 1.5 pounds of the Sri Lankan and 2.5 pounds of the Kenyan in the blend. So let's go ahead and go back and make sure that that is the correct answer. So what did we say? 1.5 for the Sri Lankan and 2.5 for the Kenyan. And surely enough, we got it correct. So hopefully that clears up any questions you might have had on this homework. That's it for today. This is Dr. Lennon signing off.